What is up, guys? It's Andy here. Welcome back to Painfully Honest Advice. So in this video, I'm going to share with you guys how I plan to build $1 million portfolio in stocks. Additionally, I'll share my current status on where my portfolio is at right now, as well as some of my top holdings in my portfolio. Now, I am going to share with you guys some resources as well, in case you're interested in going down this path as well, and as far as why I'm planning on building this portfolio. Now, if you are new to my channel, my name is Andy. I make videos around business, personal finance, and investing. So if you like any of those topics, make sure to subscribe to the channel down below and make sure to hit that like button. But let's go ahead and jump into the video. Now, here's the thing. With this portfolio, my strategy is to build an additional source of passive income. Basically, by building passive income, I want to have this portfolio big enough so as far as when this portfolio pays me out in dividends, it can go ahead and cover all my expenses, or I can just retire early or maybe semi-retire and be just doing something that I'm just passionate about. But with this portfolio, I wanted to build me enough income so I don't have to rely on one resource for income. Basically, all the stocks in this portfolio are paying me out a dividend. And the nice thing with that is while the stock market can fluctuate, it can go up or down on any given day, overall the stock market usually tends to grow. So I am focused on these stocks growing over time, but at the same time, they are building me additional passive income. So I am getting paid in dividends from these stocks. So I personally really like that because it's two ways that I'm actually earning money through the payments of those dividends plus through the growth of the stocks. Now, I plan to reinvest this money right back into the stocks because I'm looking at compounding and basically with the power of compound interest. And to me, compound interest should be the eighth wonder of the world because it's that good. And additionally, my goal with this portfolio is to dollar cost average on a weekly basis. Basically, I plan to put in a certain amount of money on every single week. And with dollar cost averaging, I don't have to worry that I wasn't able to time the market perfectly. But let's go ahead and run into where my current status is on my portfolio. Now, the investing app that I use for this portfolio and I'm going to be using is M1 Finance. M1 Finance is an extremely good app if you're focused on dividend-based stocks and if dividend investing is your strategy. So I personally do recommend M1 Finance. I do have a link in the description if you want to check it out. You do get a free $10 with that. But as far as my current portfolio goes, my current portfolio is sitting at about 31,000 and change. Now, before I get into the actual strategy, I do want to share with you guys some of the top holdings that I have in this portfolio, and maybe some of these will be helpful if in case you're interested in starting a portfolio like this as well. And I'm not going to get into too much details with each one of these stocks, but I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys the top 5 holdings that I have in my portfolio. Now, I will put a link right here if you want to check it out as far as my full portfolio goes. I did upload a video just recently in regards to that, so that will kind of outline my full portfolio if you're interested in seeing what I have in this portfolio. But my first top holding that I currently have in my portfolio is Realty Income Corporation. Now, Realty Income Corporation, I have about $3,200 in value, plus I'm up over 30% on this stock. Now, I personally really like the stock because they're a real estate investment trust and they basically pay you out higher dividends and they're a monthly dividend paying stock. Additionally, my second top holding is going to be Apple, and my current value is around $2,900 in Apple, and I'm up about 19% with Apple. Now, I'm not going to run into Apple too much, but Apple is an extremely good company. I believe in their long-term goals and their financials and their balance sheets are extremely good. And my third biggest holding is going to be Verizon. Now, Verizon, I have about $1,180 in value, and I am up roughly about 6% on this stock. Verizon, I personally really like because it is a higher dividend paying stock. And as far as communication goes, they are the industry leader when it comes down to telecommunication or wireless communication. And the fourth one is going to be Johnson & Johnson. That is my fourth highest holding. Now, Johnson & Johnson is one of the leaders when it comes into healthcare sector, and they have a lot of different product lines as far as the different drugs that they own. And with Johnson & Johnson, I'm about break even at this point, and I do have about $1,100 in value in this particular stock. And the final stock is going to be Home Depot. Now, Home Depot, I do have about another $1,100 in value, but I am up about 18% on Home Depot. Now, as some of these stocks dropped in price, I was able to go ahead and dollar cost average into every single one of these stocks and just keep buying on a weekly basis. Now, let's go ahead and jump into the strategy. Now, I am going to share with you guys 3 different strategies here that I'm planning on using. One is going to be the most aggressive strategy, which is the one that I'm currently using right now. But if life happens, and life does happen, I am going to go ahead and maybe change to one of the other strategies. So the second one's going to be a more moderate type of strategy that I'm basically going to focus in on, and that's the strategy that I'm going to go for long term. And the third one is going to be more of a conservative strategy in case something happens and I'm not able to go ahead and invest as much as I want to into the stock market. But now let's go ahead and jump into the strategy, which is going to be my most aggressive strategy. Now, this is the strategy that I am currently using right now. And basically with this strategy, I am focused on investing $6,000 a month or $1,500 a week. And with dollar cost average, I plan to use this strategy for 10 years. Now, let me go ahead and share with you guys how I got there. And I'm going to go ahead and pull up a dividend calculator, and I'll go ahead and share that on the screen here. So if I look as far as this dividend calculator goes, we're just going to go ahead and fill out all of these, and I'm going to share with you guys where I will be in 10 years from now. Now, my portfolio is a dividend stocks portfolio, and in my current portfolio, I have $30,000. So I'm just going to type that in there. And as far as my annual dividends yield, I am roughly averaging 3.5% in dividends in my current portfolio. It is a taxable portfolio. I'm not investing this money in a retirement account. It is going to be in a taxable brokerage account. And additionally, if I do the math on $6,000 a month, that's going to equal $72,000 for the year that I'm going to be planning on contributing into this portfolio. And as far as the annual dividend increase goes, my annual dividend increase on my portfolio is right over 5%, but I'm just going to stay cautious here, and we're going to say it's going to be 2% in case some of these stocks plan to stop paying out their dividends, because you never know. Now, additionally, the frequency of the dividends is going to be quarterly, and most stocks do pay out a dividend on a quarterly basis. And as far as my tax bracket goes, it is going to be the 18% tax bracket. And if you're not familiar with that, guys, just do a quick Google search and you can actually figure out what your tax bracket is. And then the annual share price appreciation within the stock market is expected to go up anywhere between 7 to 10% on an annual basis. But just to be conservative here, we're just going to say that the share price is going to go up by an average of 5% a year. Now, as far as the drip goes, I am going to say yes to this, because basically this is going to go ahead and say that we are going to go ahead and reinvest our dividends. And this is basically with the power of compound interest. When you reinvest your dividends, you're just growing this portfolio quicker. And as far as the years invested goes, we are going to go ahead and look at this. If we are investing this money for 10 years to go ahead and get to that $1 million mark. So I'm going to go ahead and calculate this. And now if we just look at where this portfolio is in 10 years from now, the portfolio in 10 years from now is going to be over that $1 million mark. So the portfolio is going to be sitting at $1,123,000. And basically, the nice thing with this calculator is it actually shows me how my dividend yield is going up, and as far as what my starting principal is and how much my principal is going to grow every single year. Plus, if we look at the dividends in 10 years from now, the dividends are going to be $41,000 annually, which is right around $3,400. So that's an extremely good dividend. And in my case, that would actually cover all my expenses. Plus, it will give me enough cash flow for other things as well. So I personally do really like this strategy, and that's why I focus on dividend investing. It's because of that passive income. Now, the next strategy is going to be more of the moderate strategy. Basically, in case the stock market goes back to its new highs and the Dow Jones goes back to above 30,000, I'm going to go ahead and change over to this moderate strategy. Now, with this strategy, I am going to be focused on investing $2,500 a month or $625 a week. And with this, that's going to equal about $30,000 a year. And this is going to be a strategy where I'm going to be focused on getting to this $1 million portfolio in 15 years. So let me go ahead and jump back to the calculator so I can show you guys. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and make some changes here. Now, if we just jump back into the calculator, this is still going to be the portfolio that we're looking at. Additionally, the The starting principal in the portfolio is still going to be around $30,000. The dividends are going to be the same. It is a taxable account, and the annual contribution, we're going to go ahead and change that down to $30,000. I'm going to go ahead and leave everything else basically the same here. The only other thing that I'm going to go ahead and change is with this strategy, it is going to take me a little bit longer to get to my goal. So I'm going to go ahead and change it down to 15 years. And once we go ahead and calculate this, let's see where we get with this. And in this case, with this portfolio, after 15 years, I will go ahead and have $947,622. But if I go ahead and just change that, I want to go ahead and show you guys how this will go ahead and surpass that $1 million. If I just change my dividend yield to, let's say, 4%, because right now I am earning around 5%, and then I go ahead and change the annual share growth and appreciation to 6%. And like I said, that's usually between 7 to 10% every single year that the S&P 500 grows by. And I go ahead and calculate this. It is going to go ahead and show me that now my portfolio after 15 years has passed the $1 million mark, and I'm at $1,094,413. So now that is the second strategy that I'm focused on looking at. But like I said, I am going to go to the strategy in case the stock market goes back to its new highs, because at that point, it's just not going to be worth investing that heavily in the stock market, where I can take that same money and go ahead and invest it somewhere else. But next, let's go ahead and jump into the third strategy. And this is basically going to be the most conservative strategy that I'm going to be looking at. I'm going to be looking at investing $1,000 a month or $250 a week. Now, with this approach, it's going to take a little bit longer, but like I said, I'm not planning to retire anytime soon. So I am going to be looking at investing for the next 25 years. And if we just go down to the calculator, let's go ahead and plug those numbers in. If I'm looking at the portfolio at the starting principal of $30,000, we're going to go ahead and leave everything else the same, but the annual contribution is going to change to $12,000 a year, which is equal to that $1,000 a month. Everything else we're going to leave the same here, except for the years invested. The years invested, we're going to go ahead and say that I'm going to be investing in this for 25 years. Let's go ahead and see what we get. And the portfolio value is going to be $1,255,867. So this definitely passes that $1 million mark as well. And this is going with an extremely conservative approach. So let me go ahead and share with you guys as far as the total dividends in this case. Now, the total dividends in this case annual will be $65,183, which is roughly around $5,400 in dividends on a monthly basis. So that's not bad at all to be living off of those dividends and building that passive income. Now guys, this is basically my 3 strategies that I'm planning on using, but I hope that you guys did find something useful here. This is basically my plan on how I plan to grow this portfolio to $1 million. Now, I love investing in the stock market and especially in dividend growth stocks. Now, there are many different strategies out there. The reason why I just like dividend growth stocks is because you're still getting the growth value by investing in these stocks that will still grow. Plus, because they're paying out a solid dividend, I'm focused more on that passive income and how much I'm making on a monthly basis. But guys, that's basically gonna be a wrap for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you are new to my channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button right down below and make sure to like this video, as it really does help. But thank you again, fam. I will see you guys at the next one.